two of the main roles information technology have in the wine industry. The first one is pretty simple in sales, with the advent of wine clubs, internet kind of wine memberships that people can join. They can come to a winery, they can enjoy the experience, they can sign up, give their email address, things like that, and they can enter into a wine club where they can receive information via email and via the website of the winery about wine sales and about what they can get shipped to them and deals on wine and things like that. And so that's one side. That's a big side. Obviously, that marketing piece of the internet and just that kind of speed of technology. Right. The other side is mainly compliance for the wine industry, and there's a lot of programs now. There's 3 or 4 core programs that deal with tracking the movements and the additions to the product in every single way. So every time we add anything to the wine, every time we enter it into any kind of tank, every time we move the wine, every time we filter it, when we're going to bottle it, when we receive it, they're basically software systems that codify the wine, codify additions, codify tanks, and then you use the users of the system use that to track everything that we're doing. So it will physically, what you'll create is a work order that has on it process operations for what you're going to do for the wine. So let's say if you're going to add sulfur dioxide to a wine, you create a work order that'll say this sulfur dioxide that has a code that's based in the system we're going to add this amount to this wine that also has a code based in the system. And so what that does is it sets up tracking and visibility for what you're doing at your winery. Whereas before, when winemaking, 100 years ago or even like 30 years ago, the winemaker was just going out and telling people what to do, and it was verbal orders, everything. Right. Now it's moving more towards everything needs to be tracked, everything needs to be cataloged, and it's much more organized because you can organize your inventory from these programs. You can organize how long it takes you to process like certain operations. And then also for the government, it's a very big thing because you can track alcohol percentages. Everything, all the analysis that we get from the lab can be inputted into these software systems, and they can help when the government comes to you and says, your label says it's 14.5% alcohol, but we tested one of your bottles and it's 16% alcohol. You can prove that that's either a fluke through your system, or you can prove nothing, and the government can tax you for all it wants to tax you. But it's a tracking and compliance tool, but it's also a really good organizing and scheduling tool. I mean, that's what it can be used as. Those software programs can be used as. The Winemaker's Database is one. PC Blend is one that we use here. There's many others. Some of the bigger corporations like E&J Gallo have created their own, have actually hired computer and software engineers and created their own software systems to do all this that I was explaining. And kind of the sky's the limit, I mean, it's pretty much like every industry is going, technology is kind of speeding this along, and certain companies are going further with it. So that's pretty much, that's the role information technology has in our part of the job in a big way.
That's good stuff.